What do dreams about a marriage proposal mean? Please keep in mind that if you had a dream about a marriage proposal, that this is quite different from a dream about marriage. A dream about marriage can involve scenarios before, during, and after the wedding. It can involve the proposal, but it can also involve many different scenarios. When you dream about the marriage proposal, it's all about the proposal. It's maybe the male will come up with a wedding ring, an engagement ring, and it's all about offering the other partner whether she would like to get married or not. This is about the proposal. So if the focus of your nighttime vision is about the marriage proposal, then you're looking at the correct video. If you are looking for dream interpretations and analysis of marriages in general, please check our catalog. What do dreams about marriage proposals mean? You have to look at the context. Timing plays a big role in determining what the nuanced meaning of your nighttime vision is. There are a lot of things going on in a marriage proposal. There are a lot of symbols that can work together or can contradict each other, and this can have a profound impact on the meaning of that dream. So what I will do is I'm going to lay out different scenarios that can take place before, after, or during a marriage proposal. What does it mean to dream of a wedding after a marriage proposal? In this dream, you focus on the proposal and then you fast forward to the wedding. When you have this type of nighttime vision, your subconscious is telling you that you desire greater unity and harmony in all areas of your life. It's very easy to interpret this as your need for unity with coworkers, unity in your family, so on and so forth. All of us desire that. The same goes with wanting a more harmonious life. Too much drama can weigh anybody down. But the interesting thing about this desire is it is actually rooted in your subconscious need for a life of integrity. Because when somebody says certain things and they don't mean it, and it's not reflected in how they actually live their life, there is no unity there. There is no deep, profound integrity. When you dream of a wedding after a marriage proposal, there's a part of your subconscious that wants you to live a more integrated life. Live with integrity. If you are going to say something, do it. If you say that you have certain values, you better live them out. Because a part of you is already detecting that there is a tremendous amount of doublespeak, hypocrisy, or just basically being wishy-washy when it comes to what your actual values are. And this can have a profound impact in many other areas of your life. Unity is crucial, and so you need to start with yourself. What does it mean to dream of a divorce after a marriage proposal? This is a very interesting dream scenario because you see yourself one moment either being proposed to or doing the proposing, and then you fast forward to the divorce. Maybe you're in a lawyer's office or you're having a pretty nasty fight with your soon-to-be ex. It's no surprise that a lot of people would automatically think that this is some sort of negative dream. Well, one way to look at it is that your subconscious wants to separate what your potential is from your current lived reality. For a lot of people, life is a life of struggle, a life of constant striving, and we're all falling short of our fullest potential. In reality, we spend a tremendous amount of psychological and emotional resources going after things that it turns out we shouldn't be going after, and it would probably benefit us to a tremendous degree if we were chasing after other things. When you focus on divorce in a marriage proposal dream, your subconscious is trying to tell you that you have basically married the wrong goals, or you have inapplicable or badly applied mindset, and you would be better off looking for a clean split and starting fresh. Look at your situation with a fresh set of eyes. This dream has little to do with your relationships. It has little to do with getting married and getting a divorce. No, this has everything to do with you splitting off from false starts, false ideas, and hopes, wishes, and dreams, and their matching mindset that leads nowhere. You're going to have to make that cut. What does it mean to dream of the marriage proposal itself? If the main focus of your dream is the marriage proposal, its setting, the words that were exchanged, and actions of the parties, your subconscious is trying to let you know that you need to level up when it comes to your commitments. Because if you did, there would be more stability in your life. This doesn't mean that you're going to be rich overnight. This doesn't mean that all your problems are going to go away. But at least you will be able to handle life's ups and downs and other issues from a more stable perspective. And the key here is that you have to provide emotional validation for your commitment yourself. A lot of people commit because they think that there's some sort of audience out there that would pat them on the back and saying, "Good job. You did what we expected you to do." You're going to have to flip the script. You're going to have to ask yourself, what makes sense to me? Who do I want to be, and what is that person's value system? How do I act in such a way that I live up to that value system and commit to it? This is what will give you stability, because at this point, you're operating from a sense of truth. You know who you are or who you want to be, and what would proceed from that, what would flow from that. We get into all sorts of trouble when we commit to things based on other people's expectations of us. What does it mean to dream of a honeymoon? In this context, the honeymoon takes place after the wedding proposal and, of course, after the wedding. The honeymoon represents a desire for some break after you've done all the work. After you have made all the necessary sacrifices and you have committed, your subconscious is looking for, yearning for a break. And it's in this break that you relax, you enjoy yourself, you reconnect with yourself, and you start seeing the world with a fresh set of eyes. This can mean a renewed sense of possibility. Instead of looking at your life as this endless chain of duties, responsibilities, obligations, and daily grind, you see it brand new. You see it fresh. You see it full of possibility. You see it really as an adventure. Wouldn't that be awesome? That's precisely what the honeymoon after a marriage proposal represents in your dreams. It's that break. But here's the thing. Only you can give yourself that break. It is not based or can be based on or can be given by somebody else. It doesn't matter what is happening in your life, how much resources you have, but you may be broke as a joke. It doesn't matter. You have to decide to give yourself that break, and it will happen. Because if you're going to wait for things to be perfect, or for you to feel right, or worse yet, for somebody to get around to your position and give you that break, you're just wasting your time. This is something that you need to actively and consciously give yourself. Just a quick reminder, if you are enjoying this video, please click the like button and hit subscribe. Please be sure to click the bell notification icon so you don't miss any of our updates. Thanks a lot. Now back to our dream analysis. What does it mean to dream of a marriage ceremony after the proposal? Imagine yourself proposing, and then the scene blurs, kind of like a movie, and then all of a sudden you're in the middle of a marriage ceremony with the officiant or reverend or judge and your partner. Your selected guests are in the audience and they're looking at you. Dreams about marriage ceremonies often signify a desire for unity, harmony, and a sense of belonging. What you're seeing play out is not your desire to get those things from other people. Instead, as I've mentioned earlier in this analysis, this is your subconscious reminding you that only you can bring yourself a sense of belonging. A lot of people think that if they join the right circles, if they do what they need to do to earn the trust of people, that they would finally belong. But that sense of belonging and acceptance that you finally feel only happens because you gave yourself permission to feel that way in the first place. It's all in your head. And your subconscious is trying to remind you that you have this kind of power. Similarly, the same sense of unity and harmony that you would get when you're dealing with other people who agree with you, who seem to want to support you and commit to the same things you're committing to. All of that only happens because you have allowed it to happen. So your subconscious is trying to draw your attention to the fact that you can create these emotional and mental realities for yourself. And if you become a slave to other people's expectations and then they withdraw their acceptance, their validation, and their approval of you, where does that leave you? That's right, it leaves you dependent. It leaves you weak. Your subconscious is trying to shine a light to the path that leads to your personal strength and independence. If you want to be independent outside, meaning you want to be financially independent, you have to have you would desire to have an opinion of your own. You have to be first independent inside. And that means reconciling with yourself, allowing yourself to realize that a sense of belonging, harmony, unity, and all that good stuff only takes place because you willed it to happen. What does it mean to dream of being a happily married couple after the marriage proposal? Again, the same scenario. You focus on the marriage proposal and then flash forward to this image of a lovely couple enjoying the best years of their lives. Dreams about married couples in this context represent the integration of opposing aspects of your personality. This is where we get the nitty-gritty of achieving balance, a sense of belonging, harmony, unity, and all that good stuff. What's happening is that you are many different people, and this should not freak anybody out, because as you adapt to different situations, different parts of your personality are enhanced, encouraged, and forced to grow up. And as you go through life, you compile any of these adaptive realities or if we want to push the envelope, identities. But here's the problem. Unlike a snake that casts it off its skin as its skin grows and as the snake matures, all these aspects of you pile up on top of each other. If you don't manage them correctly, don't be all that surprised when you feel conflicted, when you feel like you're being tugged from different directions and you can't quite articulate why it's happening. What your dream of a married couple really represents is for you to achieve a deep level of integrity and internal serenity, harmony, and peace. You have to learn to let go of old coping mechanisms, old ideas, old ways of describing yourself and where you're going, because they no longer fit you. They no longer make sense in the current state and direction of your life. Put simply, this is a call to action for emotional and mental house cleaning. You have to do it. Otherwise, reality has a way of pushing you to do it. And in those cases, when you are pushed to do something without much deliberation, it's anybody's guess what you end up with. What does it mean to dream of a wedding ring after a proposal? One of the most common wedding proposal scenarios is when one of the partners whips out an engagement ring and the other partner says, "I do," and she puts on the engagement ring. But when it comes to the ceremony itself, the ring bearer would come up with a new ring. This is called the wedding ring. Please understand that there's a distinction between the two. A lot of couples don't use the same ring. This is the key to interpreting dreams about a wedding ring after a marriage proposal. This symbol represents commitment, loyalty, and a need for a sense of permanence. But the ring involved is different from the ring in the proposal. What your subconscious is trying to tell you is that when you were younger, you committed to relationships, you committed to work, you committed to obligations, duties, and responsibilities a certain way that is different than how you need to commit as an adult. This is a crucial lesson. When we are younger, we can be forgiven for committing because it makes sense. We're committing because we're passionate. We're committing because we think this is our life's work. All that good stuff. There's nothing wrong with that at that point in time. But when you become an adult, commitment takes a totally different turn. It really does. Because commitment as an adult means you promise to provide and support your family even if you don't feel like it. Even if you feel beat down, even if your body is breaking, even if it requires a tremendous amount of sacrifice, even if it would have been so much easier just to take a shortcut. That's the kind of commitment that separates adult relationships from non-adult relationships. Because it's not about you, your convenience, your feelings, nor is it about the partners. Instead, you're committing to the relationship itself. It's as if it took a life of its own. And this is why, if you are able to commit at that level, you will succeed. If you get married, your marriage will make it through. Please keep in mind that in the United States, more than 50% of marriages end up in divorce. Because people no longer want to commit. Their commitment breaks down. But if you commit like an adult, your marriage is going to make it through. Similarly, if you commit to some sort of business opportunity, no matter what happens, you will find a way. It may not be the first business model for that business, but you keep tweaking it, you keep changing it, depending on the feedback you get from your target market, until you finally succeed. The key here is that commitment is not about you. Commitment is about something bigger. It's about your legacy. It's about your character. And if you get to the bottom of that, when you dream of a wedding ring after a marriage proposal, your subconscious is laying out a blueprint for greater personal success. Because in any company, only 20% of the people there account for 80% of the results. Be one of those people, because you're able to commit at such a deep level. What does it mean to dream of a wedding cake after a proposal? When you look at a wedding cake, you can't help but want to sink your teeth into it. It's supposed to be something positive. It's supposed to be some sort of reward. What your subconscious is trying to tell you is that when you go through the marriage proposal process, it's easy to get taken in by your emotions. You're pumped up by what the future can possibly hold for you. You're excited about what lies ahead. That is all well and good. But as the old saying goes, the proof is in the pudding. And in this context, the proof is in the cake. You have to still bake the cake. You still have to commit. You still have to learn from your mistakes. You still have to show up day after day after day. You still have to get back up when unforeseen circumstances or things beyond your control knock you down. This has little to do with getting married and has everything to do with your ability to stick to a process. Because adulthood is a process, and it requires commitment, dedication, and focus. Thank you for watching this video. We appreciate your support. If you haven't done so already, please click the like button and hit subscribe. Please be sure to click the bell notification icon so you don't miss any of our updates. If you have any dreams you'd like us to interpret and analyze, please leave the details in the comments. We read every comment. To support our mission of helping people from all over the world live their best lives by tapping the power of their dreams, please click the share button and share this video on all your social media accounts. Thank you so much for joining us on this dream interpretation of marriage proposals. We can't wait to see you again in our next video.